Hello, this is a tutorial on how to use a parametric EQ to create clarity and space in a mix. Now, the best way to do it is to use good composition, like a classical counterpoint, um, anything to keep the instruments' ranges out of each other's way. Um, that's the absolute best way to do it. But if you don't know how to do that, or um, you know, maybe you like the parts and you just want to keep them, or you have a lot of parts and there's no two ways around it, you have to create space, then this is how you can use a parametric EQ to accomplish that. So right here I have 3 guitar parts that I have written, and they're all within the same range of each other. So let's just go ahead and play it back and listen to what it sounds like. Okay, so I like those guitar parts. They sound good, and even though they're in each other's way, um, I want to keep it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to each part individually. And the first part is a accompaniment guitar part. It's just chords, strummed chords. Okay, so that's that. And let's listen to the first lead guitar track. It's called Melody 1. It's just a little melody. Okay, now let's listen to Melody 2. It's also a little melodic line, and it's right in the way of the other part. Let's listen to them together. So if your ears are attuned to these kinds of things, you can hear that there's overlap, the voices cross, they're in each other's range. It's kind of muddy. You can't really tell which part is which. It's not written the best, but that's okay. That's the way I want to keep it. So let's go ahead and create space for each of these voices so that they can be heard a little bit better in the mix. And that'll help them stand out a little bit more and not be muddled. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to listen to this first melodic part, and we're going to find a frequency range that we like for it, and this instrument is going to occupy that frequency range all by itself, and that way we can create some space that way. So let's find a frequency range we like. Okay, so I like it right about there. Right about close to 1000K. It's 965K. We gave it a little boost, 4 dB boost in that frequency range. So now what we need to do is we need to go to the other instruments and get them out of the way, remove them from that frequency range. So we're going to go to first the accompaniment voice. We're going to get an EQ. We're going to put it right the exact same frequency, 965. And we're just going to bring it all the way down like that. So we can either use this or we can use a notch filter. And it basically does the same thing. Notch filter is easier. All you need to do is turn that sucker on and then find the right cue. We don't want the cue to be too wide like that, because then it's going to just cut out way too many frequencies. We wanted to just cut out the frequency that we have specified for melody 1 so it stays out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to go to melody 2, And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to go to 965 frequency right there. And we're going to give it a notch EQ. Make sure it's not taking up too much space. Great, so now they're all out of the way. So let's listen to that a little bit. You can hear that it's already starting to stand out on its own a little bit more than the other voices, because it's given a boost and all the other instruments are out of the way. So it's really standing above the mix right now. So now we're going to do the same thing with the other voices so that they can also stand out in the mix. We're going to go to melody 2. Let's solo that by itself, and let's listen to it, and let's find a frequency range that works. Okay, I like it about there. It's about 241 K, and it's a little bit higher, so it's gonna be at the higher voice, and we want it to stand out in that range. So we're gonna go ahead to the other voices, and we're gonna notch them down so that they're out of the way. Okay, that's about right. We're gonna add the notch now and give it a pretty sharp cue so it doesn't cut out too many frequencies. If you cut out too many frequencies, it'll leave the mix sounding emaciated and sort of thin and empty. We don't want that, so we don't want to cut too many frequencies. We're going to do the same thing in the accompaniment voice. We're going to find the same frequency range, 241. That's close enough. And we're going to add the notch. And that's pretty good right there. Okay, so now let's listen back to the mix and see how that changes things. All right, sounding a lot clearer already. Last but not least, we're going to go to the accompaniment voice. Let's find a good frequency range for that. Okay, we're going to give it a little bit more body. So it's going to be lower in the range. We're going to give it about 599 hertz. So now let's go to the other voices, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to notch down right in that frequency range, right about 600. Okay, right about there. We don't want to cut too much over here, because then we'll cut into melody 1. Let's go over here now to melody 2, and let's notch it down 5. It's pretty close already. Oh, I forget what the number was. 599. Okay, that's pretty close. All right, well, let's keep it. You can key this in manually too, but I'm just doing this for just to show you guys. There it goes. Okay, cool. And we'll add the notch. Okay, great. All right, now let's listen to the mix and see how things have changed. Now without, take it out. Cool, as you can see, it's added some clarity to it, and it's given every instrument their own space so they can stand out on their own. Of course, you can also pan, and there's other tricks you can do, but this is the basics on how to use a parametric EQ to create space. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much.